Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Beth, and you're probably not new because this is the part 2 of the video I just filmed unboxing my spring 2024 FabFitFun box. So I'm just going to do the demo portion in this video just for the sake of length. So I'm not going to kind of belabor too much here. I just want to get in and put the stuff on my face so you can see it in action. We already tried out the root concealer, as you can see, but the first item I think I want to try is the St. Jane Luxury Sun Ritual Pore Smoothing SPF 30 Sunscreen. So on the box anyway, I don't think they explicitly say that this is a makeup primer, but generally that's kind of how I use sunscreens. Very, very nice. Yeah, there is a little plastic protector. So nice and shiny. Okay, so just make sure this is all nice and shaken up. And you get, is it 1 ounce? 1.7 ounce. It's kind of deceptive. It's very, very skinny. Okay, so in all fairness, I'm not going to try too hard to make sure I get the recommended amount. It's very kind of pudding-like, very thick. In case any of the sunscreen police are out there, I am filming at night, so this is more just to kind of get a sense of the finish and the color. All right, so I guess I'll just start by kind of applying it to half. It has a slight smell to it. I feel like a lot of people lately have been complaining about fragrance in products or products being scented, and I haven't really smelt anything too objectionable, but I think there's a little bit of that kind of underlying sunscreen type smell. But it doesn't look like there's a cast, which to be honest is what I was kind of most worried about. So I'll count that as a win. I pretty much only exclusively use mineral sunscreens unless it's a foundation or something that happens to have some sunscreen in it. A lot of times those are, or can include chemical, but there are some that I'm just kind of sensitive to. So that is the finish on the skin. Things are looking a little kind of radiant, which I don't mind because I do have dry skin. It's starting, I don't want to say it's tingling, but I don't know if you have super sensitive skin, if you'll want to go for this. I filmed a full wear test of the new Kosas BB cream, which I still have to finish editing. And I'll save this for, I guess, that video, but it's such a pet peeve of mine when brands say that they don't have, I'm just using the Charlotte Tilbury corrector underneath my eyes. When brands say that they don't have fragrance or they haven't added fragrance to a product, but yet they have like essential oil type ingredients, or I think it's like phenethyl alcohol, which is, I guess, a fragrance. I don't know. You really have to be vigilant if you have sensitive skin. I, as you know, am pretty good about putting skincare products in the Paula's Choice Beautypedia page, which breaks things down and lets you know if there's any potentially irritating products or ingredients. But I guess I sometimes forget to do that with complexion products, which now that complexion products like foundations are touting themselves as being kind of makeup skincare hybrids, I think that's increasingly important to do. All right, so I'm gonna go wet my beauty blender. And I was going to use the original Makeup Skin because this is a very dimethicone heavy. This product does have fragrance in it. A lot of foundations do, but at least it tells you it does have fragrance. Yeah, I was going to use this because it is a very heavy dimethicone product, but now that I've applied the sunscreen, I don't think it's going to pill. is what I'm thinking. So I think instead I might try the new HD Skin Hydro Glow, which is a water-based foundation, and I just did a full comparison between between the two. This is more kind of my type of product, and I'm gonna try and be a little sparing with it. I know someone asked me recently to try out the this foundation on a less, yeah, and this is a product that State of Kate was saying was so heavily fragranced. I don't really smell much. I don't know if there's something wrong with my nose. I mean, I smelled the whatever Skylar perfume I applied earlier. I smelled that well enough, but yeah, I don't know. I want to get some of this on my face, and I guess you guys can see kind of how it looks all over as opposed to just on half. And I did use a different sponge in that video because this foundation, Makeup Forever on the website, their website, had a gift with purchase kind of thing. So I went ahead and used their sponge. You can see I'm building up a little bit more on the cheeks where I still have some redness. In all honesty, and I'm basically finishing whatever I had on my hand, I think that has kind of a lot to do with the fact that I turn off all the air conditioning and fans when I film. I try to anyway. Sometimes things get interesting during the summer. But I do have a lot of natural redness and kind of rosacea on my cheeks. Okay, so that is the foundation. This is the e.l.f. Wow Brow. Going to be filming another video tomorrow, hopefully. I'm going to do like a Lunar New Year makeup look. And the Lunar New Year starts on Saturday. So hopefully you guys won't get sick of me. Okay, so let me make sure that I don't forget what I'm supposed to be using here. I think it's just the mascara, the eyeliner, the lip, and the blush and bronzer. I think it's just those 4 items. I will have timestamps down below in case you don't want to see everything else. I think the editing on these might be a little rough, just for the sake of time. Okay, so St. Jane. Oh, I did have the About Face lip pencil wherever I set that down. And then I mentioned that I did pick up this little Sigma quad, but I'm going to save that for a future video. So I'm going to apply some of the Fenty concealer. All right, and I'll set that in a moment, but I think, first of all, I want to try out this Dibs product. So I got it in the shade 2, so it has the bronzer and the blush. And I don't really go on TikTok that often. Usually the only time I do is like to upload a video that I've also edited for Instagram and YouTube, like a reel. So yeah, I don't get fed products or brands like this, but I understand it's the new thing. So this is the bronzer side, and normally I would do some contouring. Okay, it's not the slippiest. I don't know if that just needs to be warmed up. Okay, so I'm applying this like a bronzer, not like a contour. And we'll see how we do. And this is a BK 109. I feel like it's blending well enough. Sometimes on my cheeks, I have a hard time discerning whether I'm just removing some of the foundation or actually blending the product. I think when it comes to cream bronzers, I really like the Mario Skin Enhancer. That one is a little bit, I can show you side by side here. It looks disgusting because hair gets in it and whatever. But do you see the difference? This one has like some red in it, I think. And this is a much slippier kind of formula. So I think you can see. And I've heard that, I think I said the medium shade of this is even better in terms of being more cool toned. So I'd like to try the other shade one day. But the Fair works really well by itself, and I like using, this is the BK 105, and you can just kind of like pounce it in there and then pounce it on your face because it just fits, you know? So I don't think that is going to be a new favorite. Let me try what I'm calling the Nikki LaRose technique. Although she is not the first person to do this, I'm sure. I think it's more just, she did those videos where she was trying every blush at Sephora. So that's just trying to get off the excess. It's a little bit, I don't know, it's almost like a brighter corally pink than I might really go for, but anyway, so yeah, when she did that, it is a very natural approach. I'll give him that. Yeah, she did this so many times in one video. So yeah, when you can kind of pounce or not stamp as much, but just kind of tap the product on, I think you have a better, I mean, it's definitely there. It's definitely blushing. Better likelihood of success. And I am tapping off some excess. I think the blush is definitely pigmented. I want to say it's more pigmented than the bronzer, maybe. I think I'll be able to tone that down a little bit with my sponge and some powder. Okay, so I just want to see. Okay, so that's like one swipe of the blush. I wonder if these are the same formula. Similar by the looks of it. So that's what they kind of look side by side. Yeah, not my ideal blush and bronzer shades perhaps, but that's kind of the beauty of a subscription box and that you get to try out something new, right? All right, so I'm just gonna take my same beauty blender and just go over to blend. And the foundation I used was definitely on the light side, I would say. Light medium maybe. All right, so now that that is done, I'm going to use my Charlotte Tilbury powder to get rid of any creases under the eyes, which always happens. And then I like taking this larger BK103. I'm almost to the end of this. I'm just kind of waiting until it breaks apart. I do have a backup. Yeah, so you can see it's definitely toned down the blush. Trying to decide if it looks like a good flush or if it just looks like I still have brightness in my face. I want to see what happens. It's the wrong side. That's one thing I don't like about dual-sided products, is that I feel like I'm forever opening the shade that I don't want, or the side that I don't want. Okay, so I'm just going to take a little bit more of the bronzer, and yeah, this does, I think, actually pick up more and deposit more. I might have to go back over that with a brush rather than just kind of swiping it on. So, and I didn't tap off my brush on my hand either. Keep in mind I've already powdered, but I'm just gonna again take my sponge. Yeah, that definitely did the trick. And I think it does look a little bit better with a little bit more bronzer there. Okay, so I think that's going to do it for the face. I'm just going to quickly, I don't know, probably do something matte on the lid so that you can see the eyeliner. So I always use an eye primer. I like this Fenty one. I always set the primer even if I don't really do a lot of eyeshadows, so I'm just taking my same powder and the same little brush here. Old e.l.f. small tapered brush, which unfortunately they've discontinued. It's not the softest brush, but I don't know, really like the shape. And then I'll also, where's my little, I have a little Sonia G flat definer, and still taking the powder and kind of the same way I would an eyeshadow. I'm just taking it up under the lashes, right on the lash line, because I think that is where you get a lot of creasing a lot of times. Okay, so I think I want to do a little bit in the crease just for kind of some definition. I could have tried the bronzer. I'm not really big on cream eyeshadows though, so I'm not sure how well that would have worked out. I'm just going to take my Viseart palette, just go into that shade there. They just had a Valentine's Day sale. I mean, they have sales pretty frequently. I think it was around Black Friday when maybe they had their last one or thereabouts. And I've been wanting to pick up, they have a version of this palette that's even smaller that I thought would be great for travel, because this is just an all matte palette, but it pretty much has, like it says, all the neutral mattes you would need. They also have like a, I think, dark mattes maybe. They have a few different all matte palettes, but this one I'm guessing is probably their best seller. It goes from like white to black basically, and these pans and this one are removable. But if you haven't tried this palette, or a lot of Viseart palettes actually, they have some mini versions, which is a great way, oops, I just dipped into the white. A great way to try out their formula and see if you like it without kind of breaking the bank. Going into that like lightest cream shade, there might be some residual sparkle on this brush. But yeah, the version of this palette that I wanted was sold out, so I'll just have to wait. Okay, I think that's good enough. It was really more just about kind of finishing the look than creating anything special. Okay, so let's try the eyeliner, and then we have the mascara as well, and this is just a gel eyeliner, so hopefully you'll be able to see how well the mascara does. Keep in mind the mascara, it's brand new, so it hasn't been opened to kind of do what it's going to do. So I'm pretty sure this is a sharpenable pencil. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. And well, not smudge it on my finger is what I like to do. So what I like to do is just, it's not super black, which is okay with me. Might have to do some tight lining, especially since I don't have any kind of darker shadows to blend this into. Yeah, I don't wear truly black liner that often. This one, it does seem a little bit, and what I'm doing, I'm just taking this little BK angled brush, this is the 208, and running it on the tip to pick up some product, and then just make a little flick like that and kind of fill it in, is how I do a winged eye. It's actually a good way to demonstrate it on basically no eyeshadow. Yeah, definitely kind of on the waxier side. All right, I'm gonna do the other eye off camera, because I need to get a little bit closer to my mirror. Somehow that happened, I don't know what that was. It truly is different applying makeup on camera. Okay, so I don't love it. If you are a, did I get my wings even remotely close? Maybe not. Usually why I only do kind of the babiest of baby wings, because it just gets progressively harder, and try to kind of clean up a little bit. I think when I look straight ahead they're fine, which is generally what you want. Yeah, I really like the Victoria Beckham and Lisa Eldridge liners, just for reference. If you wear black liner, I don't know that you're going to be satisfied with this, because it doesn't really give you a really black line. If you want something softer, then maybe. I don't usually tight line either. You can see it's kind of necessary in this case. I think because this feels like a waxier formula, it doesn't, I don't know, it doesn't have like the creaminess that the Lisa Eldridge and Victoria Beckham have. And like I said, I usually don't do like a black liner on like a white base, basically. It becomes a little bit more apparent if you've messed up at all. So there's that, but I feel like having those other formulas, it's a little bit more forgiving, because you can kind of move it around, you know what I mean? This one, I feel like I almost have to fill in rather than just being able to kind of move it with a brush, if that makes sense. And I think I got a little something. Yeah, not loving that. All right, let's move on for reference. Okay, this is the Thrive mascara. That's what the tube looks like. I'm pretty hard to please when it comes to mascaras, so I'm not overly optimistic, and I definitely need to clean this off because I think I just transferred eyeshadow. Yeah, so normally I go for the Tarte Lights Camera Splashes because it holds my curl, gives me volume. This one's not bad so far. So that's one coat on that eye. They still seem kind of lifted. And yeah, I think you can see how it has like the two sides. In theory, that's good when you have, oh, I just, we'll see how well it cleans up, I guess. Yeah, in theory it's good, but first you have to like figure out which side is which. And then remember what each side does and make sure it's applying. Okay, so that's both eyes. That's another good thing about wearing eyeshadow is that any mascara mistakes. Yeah, I think, I don't know. They're still somewhat lifted. Trying to apply a second coat. Yeah, I guess I would say this one, it feels less emollient. Like it wants to dry quicker or something, which can be a good or a bad thing depending on your preference. Okay, so I'm just gonna give that a second to hopefully dry, and then I can just kind of scrape it off. But let's try this lip liner. So this is a matte liner. It's in the shade Momentary Bliss. A little on the warm side. I might actually go with the Glossier lip. I think it did apply well. Let me give that a second. I'm just going to apply a little bit of whatever I just wiped off earlier. All right, so let's see how the G Suit does. And again, I got it in the shade Curve. I kind of like the other shade a little bit better, but I thought this one was maybe a little bit more springy. And it's also, I think, kind of a peach shade, which again, looks like it'll go with this lip liner. And like I said, I'm planning that peach video, so I figured this would be the better one to pick up. Actually, very close. So this is going to be one of those kind of like silicone-y liquid lipsticks, kind of moussey. All right, so that is the shade Curve. I don't remember if Glossier makes lip liner. If they do, they probably have a shade that they recommend for that G Suit, but if they don't, I mean, I guess I did the legwork for you. Oh, I think I did want to see how well this sets down as well. So that is what that looks like. So now that it's been a second, I'm going to try to scrape off this side. It's a little bit more tenacious. This side might be a little bit better. Yeah, I think for the glossy, I think it's going to be a kind of thing where, like, do you like matte lipsticks, basically, in liquid form? I mean, it's not really my preferred formula, so just trying to apply a little bit more of that Viseart to camouflage. Yeah, I guess that's good enough. It hasn't been like that long, but let's see. That is definitely, I'll do the kiss test in a moment. That one's set pretty well, I think. And then finally, yeah, that's set as well, I think. So pretty good on that. Okay, and let's do the kiss test. Yeah, definitely, I think, going to transfer, but I think the majority of liquid lipstick formulas now, I think, have gone more towards that kind of silicone-y, moussey texture where they do transfer, but they're a little bit more comfortable than the ones that like totally dry down and they crack and all that. So yeah, so I think that's gonna do it, guys. I hope you enjoyed seeing the products in action. I'm trying to think if I really recommend picking any of these up. I think the sunscreen is probably the best that and the lip liner are probably the best out of everything I tried. But your preferences and that kind of thing may vary, so anyway, hope you found this interesting or helpful. Hope you guys are able to pick up whatever you want for your boxes this season, or if you're not a FabFitFun subscriber, I hope you just found this video entertaining, I guess. So anyway, that's gonna do it. I hope you guys are all doing well and staying safe, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.